What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's finally freaking Friday, and I hope everybody's ready for the weekend. I know I am, because this time tomorrow we will be at the CSA show getting autographs done, and in between running my Inventables, I'm out running around picking up materials and stuff, because I'm doing stuff for the Red Brick House, doing stuff for that thing and all that. But I was sitting here thinking, because Calais Campbell, he signed for a 1-year deal worth $7 million to go to the Atlanta Falcons. A guy who had 6 sacks last year. That's about the same price as Dorrance Armstrong. Now, again, he's older. You know, he's been around. He's been around for a long time. Still a great person and still a really good player, a role player. And I'm not suggesting that we, I actually am suggesting that I wish we had signed him. But looking at what has happened in the dynamics of this season, Odell, when he was doing his tour at the end of the season and going into this offseason, thought, for sure, I'm going to be able to cash out, man. I am literally going to get paid. And you look at how the market has been for him. He said he wasn't looking for 20, but he's sure worth more than 4. But the thing is I'm not sure that the money is going to be there. Odell has gotten to be up there in age, and with the injuries, ain't nobody getting anywhere near that kind of money. You look at Adam Thielen, who's not injured. He didn't get much more than 4, I don't believe. He didn't get 20, I can tell you that. I think Robert Woods, he got, a little more than, I got more than that too, but he's uninjured too. And so the market there is not good. And so as you're looking at teams, and this is where Hopkins, you watch, teams are looking at that and saying Hopkins is too much money, right? It's too much money. Which is the same thing that the Cardinals are saying, that basically they're looking at that and saying it's too much money. But if you can save some money and make that move, that's where you start getting, when you start getting desperate. And see, this is where some of these teams that are trying to make these moves, because today is like bonus day. If you're still on the roster, you're getting the bonus. Matthew Stafford is getting a $30 million bonus today. $30 million. So, he ain't hurting none. But here's the thing. So you start looking at this and saying, if you're the Cardinals, do we want to take that $26 million hit? Or are we better off saying, we'll take 10 of it? We'll take 10 of it and take some of that money off the table for some of these teams to make a move. And then it becomes more of, we just want this off our books, more than the draft pick. So it is conceivable, and this is where June, it may take some more time. It's going to take some more time. But by June, you're going to see guys like DeAndre Hopkins possibly really at the point of being desperate to move them to get rid of some of that salary. And you may be able to work out a deal that would be a better deal. The question is now that you have Brandon Cooks, do you look at it and say, hey, let's also go ahead and get DeAndre Hopkins? The only problem with that is the draft is next month in April. And in April, you want to be sure of basically which direction you want to go. If you're going to get Hopkins, you're not going at wide receiver. You're going to say, we got Hopkins, we're going to go ahead and take that pick and maybe take it for the offensive line, or maybe take it for the defensive line, or, maybe another cornerback or something, as opposed to using that pick on a wide receiver. So it can actually change how you are going to draft. If you don't have that guy, then of course you may be looking and saying, we want to get another receiver that may fall to us, that can be a guy who, that Brandon Cooks is the bridge till this guy is really ready to take over. So this is where I talk about it's good that we have the money coming from the Zeke Elliott contract. You can make your moves, your basic moves and things to get in a position to be ready for the season. You plug the holes and stuff. Maybe there's a couple other veterans here that can help plug some of the other spots. Another defensive tackle, maybe a guard and things. And then when a team is desperate to make that move, that they're looking and saying, okay, he's going to be a post-June 1st cut, and we'll eat some of the contract just to get rid of him and try and get some compensation for next year, then you got money to do that. And to me, as I sit here and I listen to like Greg Jennings talking about Daniel Jones and how he's better than Dak Prescott and a top 10 quarterback and yada, yada, yada. And, how good some of these other quarterbacks are doing. Well, Dak is just trash. Well, we didn't exactly have the best of weapons for Dak to be working with. Let's be clear here. I know people will say Dak is just trash, but let's be clear here. In that 49er game, once Tony Pollard went down, you had one weapon. And if all of our guys were so great, how come they weren't signing massive contracts all over the place? How come these receivers that leave us don't go elsewhere and become great, receivers that Dak Prescott was holding them back? The reality is you didn't have premier talent to go ahead and have them. And most teams look to add as much talent and weapons as they can. Only the Cowboys don't. At least that's the way I look at it. I would rather have too many weapons than definitely not enough. Think about every time you go to an action movie. They always go into that storage building, right? They open it up and it's got all kinds of guns and stuff on there, or they got the wall that opens up to the gun room. They don't just grab one gun. They stuffing one pistol in the back of their pants. They're putting another gun under the holster here. They got a gun over here on this holster, right? They got one strapped to their leg. They got one taped to their back. They got weapons galore because you need all kinds of weapons. And that's what the Cowboys need to do, is get more weapons. And you know I'm right. Don't act like I'm not. I'm right. They need as many weapons as possible. All right? On to Lowe's. I gotta find a nail extractor so I can try and get these nails out of this old wood. Hope y'all are having a great day. And don't forget, tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we got our live stream. See you then. Peace.